Welcome everyone back to another Dragon Ball Legends video. My name is DFree. Here today we're going to talk about the Rising Battle event for Vegito. So I hope you guys enjoy. Hit the subscribe if you're new for more content on the channel, of course. And you know, this one wasn't too difficult, at least right now. One thing to consider is that this is going to continually get updated, of course, throughout the course of this event and a little bit afterwards, probably to the point where he should, hear me, should become a free 7-star Vegito. So, of course, I'll be back whenever things, of course, change a little bit more. We get harder events and stuff, so we'll see. But for now, you go up to Battle 20. So, per normal, if you guys didn't play the previous Rising Battle for the Fury Broly around the time of that movie release and all that stuff, every 5 battles you fight a boss, and you can't replay the stages in between once you beat them, but you can replay the boss stages. Now, the way that this event was structured is between battles 5 and 10, a couple of things that are interesting happen. So for fighting Battle 5, right, this one has no conditions whatsoever. You can use whatever characters you want. I don't really think this one needs an explainer. If you really, really struggle, go full blue. And make sure that you have some characters at least level 1500 probably, and you're probably good from there. You should be good. 3 level 1500s if you're new, but a lot of you guys at least have 2000, right? So other than that, again, you can use whatever you want. So what I want to point out, though, is I believe that by this time, you should have unlocked Vegito. Whether it was on Battle 1 or through Battle 5 or whatever the case is, by here, you should have unlocked Vegito, right? So, or even after that, whatever the case is. So as you make your way through, in between 5 and 10, of course, you'll fight various bosses that you guys should be able to beat. Using whatever characters you have, whatever you want, it really does not matter. Again, but this is where things get a little bit interesting, because on this stage, right, there is a deploy condition. So for this stage, your characters you can take onto this stage is only Vegito. Now, a quick little note for this, if you happen to be struggling, you should be able to beat this by doing what I'm going to say, but I guess bookmark this. Whenever Super Vegito comes out on what for me would be Sunday night, just after reset, for you probably Monday morning early, whatever the case is, in a couple of days, he should be applicable to this stage as well. But this stage is tailor-made for the red free Vegito. Now, you probably have ran into this problem where it's like, okay, well, how do you beat this, right? Because by playing the initial, I guess, 9 stages, what I came to realize was by playing through those, I had enough Super Souls, I had enough stuff to get my character up to about level 600, right? But if you have to go versus a boss that's 2,000 levels higher than you, how do you beat that? And some people have really been stumped by this, but it's honestly a really simple and really easy fix. Really, honestly, what you have to do is play Battle 5 over and over and over until you get enough Super Souls and stuff. And of course, you're going to be training incrementally and stuff like that until you get enough to get your character around closer to level 1500 and then 2000 and so on and so forth. Personally, I got my Vegito to 2000. You might as well, right? Because you could try to get even higher than that. But again, the more you do early on, the better off easier it'll be for you. But again, if you get him to 2000, you're fine, right? So 2000 should sustain you through the rest of this event. So let me go ahead and show you guys my team in particular that I wound up using. So I wound up using this. So a couple of examples for this, right? On a side note, here are the equips that I used. Equip doesn't really matter a whole lot, but I like the way that this synergized because Vegito doesn't have a preference between Strike or Blast. But I'm going to show you guys some different replacement options and a couple of very slept-on options that you guys probably haven't considered using. And we'll even play the event. So one thing that's really cool about Vegito is that he's versatile. He can be used with characters that buff Fusion Warriors, so you can use the purple Gotenks or red Gogeta, blue Gogeta, whoever you want, and just take them, right? Now, when you take Vegito into battle, of course, if you don't know this by now, I mean, I don't know what to say, but this is helpful information. The characters that are on your team, even if they don't go into battle, still apply their buff to the character from the Z ability. So all of those other characters that just kicked out were still giving Vegito all of their buffs for the Z ability while Vegito was in the battle. So you want to make sure that you at least fill out your team that way by using either, again, Fusion Warrior bench support or General Saiyans, because he's a Saiyan, he can use all of the Saiyan type stuff, or just Mono Red because he can use all of those too. So he's versatile, very easy to build a team around. I did include Shallot just in case I needed that extra amount of HP. I will say Shallot can be replaced if you have enough limit breaks for the EX Raditz. He'd actually be a lot better in that scenario because you're not actually even able to use Shallot at all anyway. But here's a really slept on option. So, Napa. And for the record, there's the hero yellow Napa, which is good in this event too, if you are actually struggling to deal damage. Napa's really good, though, because he bonuses the damage, depending on your limit break, of course. I can't show you guys stuff from another perspective, really. I spend a lot on my account. You know, it is what it is. On a side note, some people were really hoping I got banned. I don't do anything like that. I use all my money on this account. Like, I use my stuff. Never done anything shady. So, on a side note, if you're hoping I got banned, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be, because I don't do anything like that. There's no reason for me to be. But that being said, I had to get that off my chest, because it's really been bothering me that there's the pockets of fans in the community that are like that. Regardless, though, back to the topic. Napa's really good, though, because depending on limit breaks, he bonuses damage you do, right? So other than that, what I would say is you can fill out your bench by either going more damage or more defense. A lot of red EXs have double buffs. If you, again, limit break specific, but you don't need all of these double buffs, right? You can do that. Some of you guys probably have some of these characters. Of course, there's the Rising Battle characters that you should be able to get limit breaks on easy if you play the events. Not Rising Battle, excuse me, whatever those are called, Scout Battles or whatever. I don't play those, of course, because I don't need to. I play them once for the crystals. So, yeah, there's stuff like that, right? So whoever you want to use, whatever the case is, just fill out your bench offensively or defensively. So I don't really need to play through that one in particular, but we can, just because it'll be really quick and really easy, because Vegito doesn't struggle versus this event at all. Because at this point, he should almost come in and basically one-shot, right? But he does have type advantage here. So after this, we're going to proceed on to the other parts of this event and kind of explain my process for this as well. So the first Ultimate Showdown. Actually, I don't really need to do anything. I can just go, okay, cool. He got a vanish in. All right, I win now. No, don't. Oh, that's annoying. That actually is annoying. That's annoying because I was planning on using those strikes, so we're good. This is why I didn't want to play it, because he's tedious. Not really tedious, but it's like, it's the computer. I can't do any bait tactics. I just got to wait for them to vanish. But now I should win this time. Is that win? It should be win. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, that's all you really need to do is land a combo, and you win. I just couldn't do it for the first, like, 30 seconds or whatever. But yeah, landing a combo with that type of setup, you can even deal more damage again. With the Napa supports, you'd be better off, right? So it's really, really easy to do that and come through. So another thing that was kind of difficult was this stage here, because this one is restricted to EX characters. You guys probably have already seen what I was using, but here we go. So this one here, I mentioned earlier the Napa and why he's good. The Napa hero unit is actually good for a lot of the same reason. He bonuses damage versus purple units, right? So for this stage in particular, it doesn't really matter who you actually take into this. As long as the character is level 3,000, I would say you should have an easy time. They don't even need to be full 598%. I don't think that I did that for these characters. Okay, I actually did for 16, but I'm pretty sure at the time I didn't. So let me see my Piccolo. Yeah, see, Piccolo wasn't completed. And Bardock here wasn't completed either. These are the three that I went in with because they were kind of easy to use and farm and stuff. Bardock wasn't even max level, right? So we're going to play through this one really quick. But this is the team I used. Again, a lot of the same stuff does apply where you can just kind of use whatever and come through with it. So just make sure you have the hero Napa, though, if you do struggle. Make sure your characters are at least decently leveled. I didn't really cover my equipments, but these are the equips that I chose. So these are the three on this Android 16. We also do have a few over here on Piccolo as well. So Piccolo is actually a very good defensive unit. I also really like this equip because of the bonus damage versus Saiyans. It's strike specific, which isn't Piccolo's specialty, but it is what it is. And for the absolute last one, I keep doing this, forgive me, we do have these three over here. So let's go in. So basically the idea with this is you want to clear as quick as possible anyway, but if you do struggle, when Android 16 goes down, he applies buffs. He's just a really good character in general, right? But I would say you can change up the team however you want to. You do have to use EXs, but for your bench units, you don't have to use EX bench. You can actually use sparking characters on the bench, like your yellow Friezas or whoever if you have them, and get those buffs from those characters too. For me personally, I use this one, though, because I had already selected all of it. See how little damage the Vegito is doing? He has just under 3 million HP, so you do have to make sure you're dealing good damage back to him. But, you know, it doesn't really matter a whole lot. So we're going to come through 16, did almost 20, about 25% HP to him. That's annoying. All right. Okay, and we're just going to go in. I'm still trying to get better with this whole new battle system, and especially when it comes to playing the computer, because one thing that happened is you can't really bait the computer the same way you used to be able to, right? You used to be able to basically bait the computer by strike canceling repeatedly. You can't really do that anymore, unfortunately. All right, Piccolo, time to come in. Oh, I got him in just in time. Okay. Yeah, Piccolo's there also for cover change. He's a really good defensive unit overall. I think he was critting there. All right, cool. We win here. We should win here. I'm going to go for my blast cards. If there, oh, there's one. Okay. This should beat him, especially because I drew a special beam. Yeah, okay. So if he doesn't guess it, we win, and we do. Okay. So, yeah, that's the general premise of it. It's not too difficult when you have the characters, right, and you have them leveled up. So that's what I used for this event right now, right? So we're going to actually come through and do the Vegito final battle as well, because on the last one, you do have to fight with Vegito again, in fact. And it's actually the same setup that I used prior, but I'll show you guys that one just because, right? So we're going to get out of here. Okay. And we're going to go to Battle 20. All right, so the unfortunate thing about this is this one seems like it's really geared towards the new Vegito. So the Super Vegito is supposed to be a purple unit. He is a purple unit. This one is literally geared towards that because he's purple, disadvantaged. So, you know, it doesn't really matter much, but just for future reference, you know, just keep that in mind that if you do struggle, again, this game doesn't discriminate between characters. Like, if they have the same name, they are the same character in this game. It can be Kid Gohan. It can be Future Gohan. It'll be able to be a GT Gohan whenever that's a thing. It can be whoever. If it asks for a Gohan, every single condition that requires a Gohan will always work for a Gohan. There's no Kid Gohan difference. And then that applies to Vegito. There's no Super Vegito versus Base Vegito. Unless it specifies an actual, like, color requirement or a card ID number like that Green Beerus equip specifies, I believe, Green Beerus. I believe that specifies Green Beerus, but the Gohan SS2 one that's on the Broly event right now also specifies Gohan with his actual ID number. Unless it does that, then there's no discrimination in this game. So, again, when you're this high level, it doesn't really matter much. You do so much damage, which is why I said you're better off earlier on just kind of playing Stage 1 repeatedly to the point where you get the souls and everything you need early on, because the rest of the event, at least until he gets more limit breaks, of course, and we have more stages to play, it's pretty easy. So that's my guide for you guys. Again, just play Stage 1 over and over and over and over. If you do struggle with Stage 2, that is. Maybe you don't, for whatever reason. But that should be it. Thank you all for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch all of you guys in the next one. And thank you all, honestly, for the continued support. It means so much to me, for the people that actually do support me, do support the channel, and all that. So I'll catch all of you guys in the next one.